Since the ending of Dragon Age Inquisition had a stinger involving the death or petrification of Flemeth, and Solas apparently absorbing Mythal's power, thus there had to be a sequel. Isn't buying video games and their corresponding components fun? Does every story need a shoehorn, a cliffhanger in there nowadays? So in order to start the Trespasser DLC, you have to commit to never playing your original game ever again, which is totally cool in my book. Special thanks to Yic17 Fantasy for the cutscene video. The story starts off with a time skip, oh boy, 2 years into the future, where Orlais is calling a meeting for us and a bunch of others called the Exalted Council. And we're on a funky, armored-looking sort of horse, wearing our same old red dress uniforms. You'd think after all this time we'd get some new ones.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
And by the way, where is Leliana? Isn't she part of our council? Is she busy, or is having a spy master supposed to be a secret anyway? Well, we meet up in the council chambers early, Mark acts up, and Mother Giselle pops in.
You can probably just call her Cassandra in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
Didn't we just tell her that we can just call her Cassandra after we just referred to her as such, so why are we then switching back to Victoria?
In a manner of speaking, your worship, Dorian Pavas has been declared the Tevinter ambassador.
I had no idea this was the case. Was Dorian gone for 2 years? The same as for Varys, who spent the last 2 years in Kirkwall. Giselle asked a question as to what we intend to do with the Inquisition.
This Exalted Council. Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
The Inquisition still has work to do.
Okay, such as? Geez, how much order can you restore? We then take off. She walks to the side, I guess to smell the plants or something, and then we have a backwards glance for no reason and fade to black. We meet Cassandra and Arl Tegan, Dorian, and Duke Cyril Montfort, the Orlesian rep.
Yet you've started no major wars. The Inquisition is a very considerate rival.
Well, fancy that. What the hell does the Inquisition do anyway? We meet Varric and Bran Caven. This is funny, as Alec Newman is the voice actor for Bran, who's talking about the Prince of Starkhaven, whom he also plays. Varric just gives us an estate in Kirkwall and a key to one of the harbor gates, for some reason. We meet Cole, who's got a girlfriend. Blackwell, who now calls himself Tom Rainier, is doing target practice. You attend a spa with Vivienne. Sarah is sitting and drinking. Iron Bull is sleeping. Then we discover Dorian's dad was assassinated, that he managed to get Dorian an ambassador role, that he left everything to him, and that he's returning to Tevinter for good. Boo-hoo. He gives us a sending crystal, which I assume is like a magical cell phone. Cassandra thinks we're going to marry her, but was tricked by Varric, and then we bring it up. She says you can't do that because she's divine. I don't know how that's supposed to be conflict. I don't get it. Cullen finds a dog. Leliana finally just shows up.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long.
What actions specifically? It's been 2 years, and only now my actions have begun to reshape Thedas? What the hell have we been doing all this time? Was stopping Corey not that big a deal? We knew that the game was a failure at providing choice and consequences, but this should be a very clear, simple thing. Wasn't the game selling us on being in charge of an organization that would change the world? We should have done something worthwhile, like keeping Celine or putting Gaspard on the throne. What did we do that's now influencing others? We then meet Josephine, who takes us to some sort of Orlesian opera. It tries to be funny by implying a quiet evening out.
A calm night out sounds...
And it even cuts off our conversation. And finally we get to the discussion with the council. And we're actually just wearing some different clothing this time.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Our goal was to keep more Ferelden citizens from dying, not to seize power.
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them.
That was Ferelden's mistake, just as exiling the Wardens at Adamant Fortress was regrettably the Inquisition's mistake.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. The Inquisition is the only reason Gaspard sits upon the throne.
Yeah, those are a lot of good points, that the Inquisition no longer needs to exist, or at least needs to hand over the land it took. I don't recall taking that kind of land over, but yeah, we're kind of done here. And instead of actually discussing these things with, diplomacy, we're forced to leave the room because Liliana wants to talk to us. It's like the whole diplomatic or spy side of gameplay just can never be done. It's always, always combat. So we just stand up and rudely leave.
My apologies. An urgent matter has come to my attention. Ambassador Montillier, can you handle this for a short while?
Of course, Inquisitor.
This is highly irregular.
Are we not even worth the Inquisitor's time?
All sorts of people are outside, and all sorts of people that were outside have magically disappeared. Liliana finds a Qunari warrior in the Winter Palace in full armor. Iron Bull has no clue. Apparently wearing a wicker basket on your head is a helmet.
Deadly mysteries at the Winter Palace. Throw in a Hala statue and some Caprice coins, and it's just like old times.
Oh God, no.
While I look around.
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will ask Divine Victoria to call a recess for now. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
Here's an idea. How about I just go back as the leader of the Inquisition, do my diplomacy thing there, and then you and whomever else does some actual investigating. My time's a bit precious right now, and I'm sure you and your spies could do a better job since you have an army of spies.
An active Alluvian. If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone.
Then why are you going in alone? So instead of having a story of political intrigue and trying to validify the point of the Inquisition, we're stuck jumping between worlds trying to discover why the Qunari are trying to invade Orlais with the power of the Alluvians. Luckily, all these Alluvians are active, which means they've been opened by a key of sorts, and they remain so, which is very lucky for everyone. We come across giant green doors dedicated to Fen Harel, and our mark hurts the more we open them. We then get some story of Fen Harel not being an elven god and trying to free elven slaves from actual elven gods. So all this work is done to get some sort of pedestal stone so a bridge could be formed when all we really had to do is jump off the castle and swim over there.
This is crazy. They're acting like we're at war.
Are they?
I don't know, boss. I wish I did.
And the Iron Bull still doesn't know what's going on. So we head back to the Winter Palace to warn everyone.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
Could we use the Qunari threat to remind everyone how valuable the Inquisition still is?
Not until we know more. It will be fine. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Qunari are doing and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
So we're back to the same MO. Josephine covers for you, while Dogman and Spymaster do absolutely nothing useful. Turns out the Qunari like blowing each other up. And we find a human who wants us to stop the female Qunari chick who hates magic.
Why do the Qunari think that the Inquisition serves Fen Harel?
I don't know. The Vidasana said it, and the Qunari here accept it as fact.
So the Qunari thinks we're agents of Fen Harel. Who the hell are the agents of Fen Harel? Anyway, this is a lyrium mine, where they give it to Cerebos, as well as something called Dragon's Breath. We need to get some primers to ignite the Gatlock to make this place go boom, because this Qunari plan is dumb. After we finish talking to this guy for sharing his knowledge of lyrium and the Qun, we slaughter him. So we blow up the place and go back to Orlais to tell people we're about to stop a war with the Qun.
But what does it mean?
Well, I have a question. Why the hell is military genius staring at a map of the continent when there's nothing on it, and we know the Qun attacked through magical elven mirrors inside the palace?
For now, our only lead is the Qunari leader, the Vidisala.
Gentlemen!
My apologies, Lady Josephine. There has been an incident with one of your soldiers.
How dare you? It was bad enough that the Inquisition chose not to inform the Exalted Council of the Qunari corpse.
Ole would have been happy to help with the matter.
But now your own guards are attacking servants? You have overstepped your bounds.
Yeah, why didn't we just tell them that? That would explain our absence. I mean, what's the problem here? It's win-win. I get to excuse myself for a good cause, and B, explains or at least temporarily validifies having an Inquisition.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention, gentlemen. I'll see to this personally.
Thank you, Inquisitor. Ole stands ready to assist the Inquisition, as always.
Secrets and lies. Do you understand why we fear your Inquisition?
Because we wanted to take care of the problem ourselves so you wouldn't have to? Did we lie about anything here?
You act as if you're the solution to every problem. How long before you drag us into another war?
Well, we're working on preventing that from happening, and what war did we drag you into before? I don't recall Ferelden's help against Corypheus.
This is the Winter Palace. You cannot simply seize control when one of your guards attacks a servant.
The Inquisition is handling this. When some noble commits a crime of fashion, you can take over.
I only asked what he was doing.
And when I refused to bow to the Inquisition's dogs, you attacked me! How would you like us to handle the situation, Inquisitor?
That barrel there, where did it come from?
I was ordered to bring wine for the guests.
You're lying.
Your Inquisition soldiers are completely out of control.
No, we're in control. Keep talking and you'll find yourself in chains.
Please take the servant into custody.
Right away, Your Worship.
Inquisitor?
Ambassador Montillier will explain later. For now, please hold the servant for questioning.
As you say, Inquisitor. Lord Cyril will hear about this.
This is kind of like being in France before there was a terrorist attack. We've got some perp, and we know what's going on, but the French police don't know anything yet, so they're not too comfortable with our authority.
This is what Corypheus should have done after the explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Considering he had almost no interest in Illuvians, he probably should have gone back to evil school and figured out how to be a villain first.
When duty has been performed, report to the Vidisala through the mirror marked by a bookcase.
So we're off to find some Illuvien with the bookcase.
An Illuvian marked by a bookshelf. This should be it.
Bookcase, bookshelf. I guess this is close to it. Are servants of the Qun really this intrepid? So we keep exploring and find some spirit of knowledge who tells us this is a library of all empires of every court or something. We meet another, and she tells us that Fenrirel made the veil to separate the Fade and the waking world. And we meet another, and we discover that this place was destroyed because of the veil being erected, and that magic was much more powerful before, and the elves of this place obviously weren't too happy about it. So, after unlocking enough magical flying blocks to make a bridge, we can enter another Illuvien and find the Vidisala.
Who is this agent? Why would you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Darvarad.
Yeah, great talking to you too. So we fight off her goons and encounter another archivist. She gives us a keyword for this stone thing we found for the Darvarad, and she opens the path for us to continue, and we wind up back in the Winter Palace.
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerim's palace?
Yes, and in Val Royeaux and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Qunari are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
I'm kind of curious, how powerful is this Gatlock? From what we saw, it could barely blow up a wall, and how do they intend to ignite the thing without a primer? And how are they going to ignite them all simultaneously? And how large is their invading force if they're going to start attacking Thetis all at once? They can't possibly have Eluvians in every location they placed Gatlock barrels. So why'd the big rush here in Orlais?
There is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
Okay, how are we responsible for that, and why would they blame us?
They came in through us.
Yes.
How, damn it?
The Elven servant handling the barrels confessed to working for the Qunari.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
So because some bad guys smuggled their bombs on our shipping manifest, it's our fault? What the hell are we doing bringing wine to Orlais anyway? And how much wine did we bring? Do we have this giant procession of elephants and horses just lugging all this wine? Did no one bother to check what was inside the barrels? Let's go get some delicious wine. Oh, it's explosive black powder. That's weird. And no one noticed this till now?
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Yeah, we're pretty much useless. Well, aside from killing people, we're good at that.
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's Elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
So a bunch of Elven immigrants from Kirkwall, who were secretly Qunari spies, joined the Inquisition, waited 3 years, and then started helping deliver bombs full of Gatlock. Right.
And the Qunari turned them into spies.
The Inquisition stopped Corypheus and saved the world. We can't let an outside threat change who we are.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this Exalted Council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Who are we deceiving and who are we threatening?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Qunari body. You've all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
Yeah, well, Leliana's just weird. I got no problems telling people about the body, although they already know it, and all we did was detain one Elven spy. How are we in control of the Winter Palace?
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak.
Slash it. Slash it.
And before we can get anywhere with this interesting opinion by Josephine, this happens.
It's fine. It's under control for now.
Wow, that sound effect timing. Just so dramatic.
But we don't have a lot of time. I need to get to the Darvarad.
So you can fix your broken mark thing that's killing you? That would make sense.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
We can't finish this fight while worrying about the Exalted Council. For now, we keep this to ourselves.
Understood, Inquisitor.
I'll have guards ready at the Eluvian, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make a watch over you.
So don't worry, just tell them. Why not? Just give them a reason to freak out. Give them a reason to prove the Inquisition is still relevant. What's the holdup here? Anyway, we get to the Darvarad, I guess. It's just a location, apparently.
Dragon's Breath is an actual dragon.
Tethar! Bars!
Inquisition! Nira Tasiyasara! Miraba Sadim Kata! Hisrad, we need you! Videk Katas!
Good call leaving me behind. The Vidasala asked me to lend a hand. Nothing personal. Boss.
So how did Iron Bull get over here? Is there another mirror the Qun are using? So Iron Bull turns into a Superman and we kill him. Yay. So now we have the option of killing or freeing the dragon. Freeing the dragon involves this complex ring, barrier, fire, pulley system? I have no idea what we're doing here. Then we have to open the gate, which then leads to another Alluvian where that Qunari leader chick is.
Solas, agent of Fen'Harel.
What?
He used me. All along, that bastard was manipulating us.
Okay, how is he manipulating us? He saved your life, got you and your organization a castle, and generally helped you out. How did he use you?
Vidasala's not killing Solas. I'm killing Solas. Come on.
Murder! Yay! So our mark is causing us problems, but can also be used as a weapon. It's actually kind of funny. So we find a few more Cerebosses and get through the last Alluvian. Oddly, our team can't go through, it's just us. Finally, we get to where that Qunari chick and Solas are. She gets stoned, and he stops the mark from temporarily killing us.
You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Being a player character in a Bioware game notwithstanding, no. Aside from the mark that's killing us, no, we really don't have any burdens. Aside from being infiltrated by spies, apparently.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. Crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
Okay, so the original Mythal has been killed, but then you killed her just recently. Is her, like, her essence eternal? I'm getting really confused on how this magic Elven stuff works. So because of that, you created the veil to trap all the rest of the Elven gods in the Fade as punishment?
War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Avenuris.
How did creating the veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dathara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The Elven legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging. It was me. The veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
So because the Avenuris were bad, you decided to strip away the essence of Elvenhood in order to punish them, because the alternatives were much worse, by causing a previously immortal race to become mortal. Okay, how is this the best option?
You're going to destroy this world.
Not happily.
I'll have to stop you.
I know you will try. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos.
Wait, you bet on the whole idea that Corey was supposed to die to unlock your orb. Why couldn't you just chill out and get your strength back so you could open it up yourself? What was the rush? Seriously, what was the problem here? You had no opposition. You're apparently immortal, and no one knows who you are. Just go for a vacation or something.
When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus.
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Divinity Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
So technically, you could have asked or influenced any Magister from Deventer, or any mage in general, to try opening the orb, but instead you chose the evil immortal one that Hawk just happened to unlock back in Dragon Age 2 Legacy DLC. This means the entire plot of Dragon Age Inquisition is based on Solas' poor choice of a lackey to open up his orb, whatever the heck that even means. What was so special about this orb that you needed some religious Deventer nut bar to try and open it?
What would have happened if Corypheus had died and you had recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
Okay, so if you destroyed the veil, the Evanuris would be back, and their punishment would be over. And I'm assuming that Solas has plans to keep them punished in some way. Who knows?
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
I'm sorry, how many spy organizations are there? What the hell has Leliana been doing all this time? And why hasn't this been an issue in the main game? You can't just throw in an idea that there's all these spies running around within our organization and no one has made this a story point. This is a complete lack of foresight on the continued plot. There are spies, therefore stuff happened. That's not even a very good premise.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
So you let us do your dirty work?
The mistake was yours to fix, Inquisitor.
You control the Eluvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Hallam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally.
Assuming control of this mirror network traveling system.
If I live, I'm coming to stop you.
I know. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
Yay, we're all going to die, which is kind of like Dragon Age's version of Ragnarok as opposed to having the sky fall in this game. Which kind of makes me wonder what the hell happened to Solas in that future world where Corypheus took over. So we go back to the council, you choose something, and nothing happens. Then a scene akin to the end of Mass Effect 3 Citadel occurs, where everyone just looks into the distance and then walks off. In this case, let's watch Cassandra, who walks off stage left. She then walks on stage right. How did she get there? Did she walk behind the camera? No reason, just to go back and talk to the Inquisitor? I don't get it. Then there's all this useless epilogue stuff. Then we get another stinger.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dread Wolf.
And Cassandra is wearing her dress uniform, 'cause, yeah, why not? For old time's sake? Who needs to wear those divine robes all day, right? Oh, right, she likes Shibari. Maybe she also enjoys cosplay. And the next game is going to be in Tevinter. Yay.